Hi friends, so today we are going to see thermionic generator. Now agenda of this presentation is introduction of thermionic generator, then construction and working of thermionic generator, various components of thermionic generator. Then there are two types. First one is vacuum closed spaced thermionic generator and second one is cesium gas filled thermionic generator. So that also we are going to see. And then advantages and disadvantages of this particular generator, and then finally applications. Now let us see thermionic generator. Thermionic power converter is a static device that converts heat into electricity by emitting electrodes from a hot emitter surface, which is around approximately 1800 Kelvin, across a small inter electrode gap, which is around 0.5 to 1 mm, to a cooler collector surface, which is approximately at 1000 Kelvin temperature. So basically it consists of two electrodes. One is cathode and another is anode. Cathode, which is heated at high temperature, so it is a emitter for electrons, and there is another electrode which is called as cathode, which is called as anode, which is at lower temperature than the cathode, and they are placed in a container and they are having a gap of around 0.5 to 1 mm. Then a thermionic generator consists of one or more of these converters coupled to give desired output. So if we want more output or more voltage or more current, these thermionic generator should be coupled to each other so that we will get the desired output. Now this thermionic generator can be operated from any primary heat source. Now generally for low power level, that is up to 3 kilowatt or less, solar energy can be used, and for high power level around 50 kilowatt or more, nuclear heat source can be used. So these are the generic terms. So now this is the construction of thermionic generator. So here you can see this is the container, and this is the hot electrode, which is also called as emitter or which is also called as cathode. So heat is supplied to this emitter. So here you can see a heat input. So electrons will be escaped from the bond and they will travel toward this electrode, and this is anode, which is cold electrode, or that is also called as collector. So here from this cold electrode electrons will start flowing. So this is external DC source, we can see here. So now current will start flowing. So this is a concept of thermionic generator. Now a thermionic converter or generator comprises a heated cathode, which is also called as electron emitter, and a anode, which is called as electron collector, separated by vacuum. The electrical output circuit being connected between the two, that we have seen here. This is the electrical circuit. The heat which is supplied to the cathode raises the energy of the electrons to such a level that it escape from the surface and flow to anode. So we are heating the cathode to such a level that electrons will get escaped from the surface and they should flow to anode. At the anode, the energy of the electrons appears partially as heat or removed by cooling, and partially as electrical energy delivered to the circuit. So we can see, or we can judge at cathode. Although the distance between anode and cathode is only about 1 mm, the negative space charge with such an arrangement hinders the passage of the electrons and must be reduced. This can be achieved by introducing a positive ions into the inter-electrode space, cesium vapor being valuable source of such ions. So this is a type of generator that we are going to see in next slide, cesium vapor. So in order to materialize a substantial electron emission rate per unit area of emitter, and hence a significant current output as well as high efficiency, the emitter temperature in a thermionic converter containing cesium should be at least 1000 degrees centigrade. Then the efficiency is 10%. So this is applied to cesium thermionic generator. Efficiency as high as 40% can be obtained by operating at still higher temperature. So if we increase our temperature, we will get increase in efficiency, but there are limitation to increase of temperatures. Although temperature has a little effect on the voltage generated, the increase in current associated with the temperature increase result in increase in power. Electric power P is the product of voltage E and current I, that we have seen. P is a product of voltage and current. Now anode materials should have a low work function, that is barium and strontium oxides, while that of the cathode should be considerably higher. Tungsten impregnated with barium compound being a suitable material for this particular thermionic generator. Even with these materials, temperature up to 2000 degrees centigrade will be required to secure for the generator itself. Efficiencies of 30 to 35% can be achieved. So even after the even for the above materials, around 2000 degrees centigrade temperature can be achieved, and the efficiency of 30 to 35% can be also achieved. So we have seen that the anode material of anode should be barium or strontium oxides, and the cathode is of tungsten integrated with barium compound. So these are the particular material for anode and cathode. Now classification of this thermionic generator. So classification according to the methods of neutralization space charge. First one is vacuum closed spaced, and second is cesium gas field. So these are the two types. So let us first see the first one, vacuum closed space converter. It has been under extensive research since 1957. Physical spacing of around 0.005 inch or less is maintained between anode and cathode, and it will have engineering difficulty. It has a lifetime of around 40 hours. So still extensive research is going on this vacuum closed space converter. Then cesium gas field, this is another type. So in case of cesium gas field, cesium gas is filled between anode and cathode. Working efficiency is higher than the former one. Lifetime is nearly 600 hours. Main problem is efficient sealing and corrosive nature of cesium. So this is the problem with cesium gas field generator. So we have seen that there are the two types of thermionic generator. And this is the construction that we have already seen. Types, vacuum and cesium gas field. So in case of cesium gas field, this is the vessel in which cesium gas will be filled here. Then advantages: rotating equipment is not employed here. So there are no mechanical part, there are no mechanical moving parts, hence wear and tear is not there, friction is not there, hence there is no problem of maintenance. Then liquid vapor phase problems do not exist. Then separators for fluids are not required here, and frictional losses due to bearing are not present. So I have said earlier that there are no mechanical parts, there are no bearings, and there is no friction. So these are the advantages. Disadvantages: individual converters are of low voltage and high current devices. Then a large number of converters must be sequentially arranged to obtain a useful voltage. So if at all our requirement of high voltage is there or high current is there, so we have to connect one generator with another, so there is a combination, so that could be a bit problem. Power losses in converters can be seriously cut useful power output. So there can be a power losses in the converters. That is a serious problem as far as power output is concerned. So this was about the thermionic generator. Regarding applications, it can be used in space applications, it can be used in automobiles. And this is the actual construction of thermionic generator. Then these are the two types we have seen: vacuum closed and cesium gas filled. Cesium gas filled has more advantages than the vacuum closed converter. These are the overall advantages and disadvantages of thermionic converter. That's all from my side. Thank you, friends. Thank you.